Hi, everybody. Welcome to Scaling E-commerce Revenue Profitably Using Adyogi Platform webinar. This is Kirvash here. I'll be your moderator for the day. A quick introduction about Adyogi before we get started with the webinar. Adyogi is a SaaS marketing automation software that specializes in executing end-to-end performance marketing, developed with a vision to help e-commerce businesses. We also have a guest speaker for the day with us, Mr. Howard Parker, Managing Director of Hadfield. Let me also welcome our other panelists as well, Dr. Lucky Yadav, Head of Global Sales at Adyogi. A quick introduction about the topic before we begin our webinar today. The e-commerce market in the UK awaits a huge opportunity to move beyond key profitability barriers like rising cost of acquisition, increased shipping costs, and hefty agency charges. Welcoming product-led operations is the way to go for your business to combat such challenges and fast-paced your revenue generation. One such product that can help you improve operations and generate up to 5x return on your investment on ads is Adyogi. Adyogi's platform-first approach and expertise-backed services has been able to scale brands like Hunkemoller, Mothercare, Clarks, and 350 other odd brands internationally, which we'll talk about more in our today's session. With that, I would like to invite our speakers to give a quick round of self-introductions. So first up, inviting Howard Parker for a round of introduction.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Howard Parker. I'm the MD of Hadfield, and I've over 25 years experience in international brand development and UK brand development. My background is a B2C, D2C brand development opportunity. And I've been working with brands to provide an end-to-end solution for their online and offline needs.
Thank you so much, Howard, for the introduction. Next up, we have Dr. Lucky Yadav, Head of Global Sales for Adyogi. Over to you, Lucky.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for making time for this webinar today. I am Dr. Lucky Yadav and I head Global Sales at Adyogi. I have around 17 years of experience where I've been working very closely with brands in the online and offline space to scale them massively. I've been associated with Adyogi for a couple of years now, and we've delivered some big projects together. We have been working in India to scale brands across industries in their D2C space and marketplace spaces. We are also pretty big now in international space, and we are serving clients now in UK, US, Korea, and that's the big vertical that we're looking at right now, and that's why we are here today.
Thank you, Lucky. Before we get started with the webinar, we also have a quick bonus for attending today's session. So first is, let's say, we do have a one-on-one live discussion with industry experts on, let's say, how to reduce your customer acquisition cost. Second, we're also very excited to, let's say, give freebies that we've arranged for all of our attendees today. Without any further delay, let's dive right into today's session. So the first section will be starting with a presentation on how to scale website revenue profitability by Lucky. Over to you, Lucky. We can get started.
Okay, so just to set the agenda for today, we want to start with talking about how the e-commerce landscape is changing in the UK. A lot of you would be familiar with it as we discuss about it. We also want to share with you some success stories. I'm sure that you would like to also hear about them, about the brands that we have scaled in the UK geography. Then a bit about our platform, what we do, how do we really solve all these problems for you. We'll give you a quick overview of how Adyogi works. And then, of course, in the end, we will have a Q&A where you can ask us any questions that you might have. So let's get started. Could you go to the next slide? Okay. This is a quick introduction before we get started on rest of the webinar about what Adyogi is and who we are. We are based in India, as you all already know by now. We have been in the D2C space for 7 years now, and we have seen a massive, surge and a big journey for India in the D2C space. Fortunately, Adyogi has the opportunity to be a part of it. We actually saw the e-commerce industry grew from about 20 billion to 60 billion. And we have been a part of the journey in the sense that we have been instrumental in scaling a lot of brands across India in different categories on this journey. We started providing e-commerce services in 2016, and currently we cater about 350 plus brands and manage about a spend of $60 million for them. And we handle both marketplace and D2C. You can also see on the screen some of the brands like Clarks, Hunkemoller, Mothercare, where we have given them improved matrices and big surge in revenue all across their e-commerce platform. We could go to the next slide. Just to talk a bit about our credibility, we are partners for Shopify. You must be aware about the website platform. Also to update you, currently we are working on an incubation with Shopify right now, and we are consulting and mentoring over 200 brands in India in that project. We are also top partner for Meta in India for straight 5 quarters. We are the premium partner for Google in India, and also we are a certified marketing partner for TikTok. That is just to tell you about how strong our partnerships are in the e-commerce segment. Moving on. We can go to the next slide. I want to share a quick success story about a UK brand called Jeans. They have been working with us, so they are based in UK and they hired our services for scaling their business in UK. As you can see on the screen, it's an apparel brand specifically for men and also does women apparel. On this, we have been able to turn it around quite a lot. As you can see on the screen that we have given them quite a massive scale up in a span of just 6 months. And just from April itself, we have given them an 80% month-on-month growth. We have improved the new user acquisition by almost 44%, and we brought down their marketing cost to 10%. We've also given them a 70% impression share among their competition. So it's been quite a success story for us, and the brand has seen great results just by using Adyogi services in 6 months of time. So let's come to some of the challenges that, growth barriers, as we say, that the UK brands are facing today. We were actually in, UK early this year around Feb, and we had the opportunity to interact with a lot of brands one-on-one, understand their concerns and understand what the founders or business heads are going through. And these are some of the challenges that came up in those discussions. I'm sure most of you present in the audience today would be able to relate to these problems, and we could come up with some solutions for them together. First is there is a rising cost of acquisition across advertising platform. We heard this a lot, that bringing a meaningful customer and taking him to a conversion is becoming more and more expensive. That was one of the first challenge. I think the second challenge was that there is a difficulty in selling in European countries post Brexit. A lot of UK companies are feeling almost 40% decline in their exports. Also, there is this huge pressure of global economic recession, which is pushing the brand owners to look at and reconsider profitability and the definitions of that. Also, one of the feedbacks that we got, that it is extremely expensive in UK to hire an agency for performance marketing. So somehow it does not, fit into their profitability part. The expense of hiring an agency is so high that they are not able to utilize and cover for its cost. If you have any other concerns that you would be facing regarding your D2C business, you can share as a comment in the chat, and we will be happy to fix those or discuss those with you at the end of the session. So coming to the solution part now, we have discussed that what are the, the probable problems right now. How do we combat these problems with the Adyogi 360-degree solution? Adyogi solution stands on these 4 pillars. First is our innovative product. We have a fairly large size tech and product team, which continuously works to evolve our products so that we are able to reduce a lot of your manual work and do your data collection, ad creation, everything very simplified. We have top-notch people hired at Adyogi who work with you on your account. So we give you unmatched service. We have kept the pricing for Adyogi platform and Adyogi services very competitive so that it is not hurting your profits. Also, a lot of strategic expertise will come to you from our experience of working with over 300 plus brands across categories. I will just discuss all of these one by one in detail as well. Let's move on. So this is just a quick introduction to the Adyogi platform. Basically, if you see on the left, it is your, your store or all the data points that you're collecting, whether it's your product catalog, your CRM, your traffic analytics. And on the right side, you see all your social platforms like Meta, Google, TikTok, Google AdWords, YouTube, Amazon. Basically, Adyogi sits between the 2 of them. We act as your connect between your data points and your social platforms so that we can give you the right information. And also we are collecting all the relevant data for you, which is meaningful for you in terms of taking your business decision. Let's go to the next slide. So what are the key components of running ads for e-commerce brand? I would say that it's fairly simple to get started on Adyogi. The first step is to set up. Basically, I'm sure a lot of you would have faced challenges in setting up the right pixel on your website. Event tracking, configuring your catalog, that what is your right catalog which needs to be sold. Second is, creation of ads where you're doing your catalog sync and you're setting up your ads to reach out to your customers. Third is analyzing the data. I think that's really critical, that you're monitoring your funnel, you're collecting the data, you're taking the right decision in terms of who to cater to on base of the data that you're getting. And finally, optimize, which basically means that your budget should be going to the right products and the right campaigns, and you should be able to exclude your low performing products so that there is a stop loss there. Next.
We do have a quick poll, before we get on with the presentation. So just for our, let's say, panelists to understand our audience a little better. So where do you stand in your e-commerce journey? So I think, are we looking at, let's say, website and marketplaces? Do we have website and offline channels, or just either of those? So we'll just give it a few seconds for the participants to answer. I think we do have a considerable idea. We'll just end the poll right here. Yeah, good. So overwhelming part of the audience have chosen website and marketplaces as, let's say, their current active channels. In fact, 80% have chosen website and marketplaces. Over to you, Lucky. We can go back to the presentation.
Thank you, everyone. We just wanted to, understand what kind of mix do we have in the audience. Let's get going. Okay, just want to take a second to explain to you that, how does the Adyogi dashboard or the ad creation work. So as you can see on the screen, with a single click, your ad on one platform, let's say Meta platform, can be, can be moved to any of the platforms like YouTube or TikTok, and you do not have to do the manual work of creating the ads again and again. You can populate your ads across any platform. Also, you can set up ads which are specifically to promote your top selling articles or your most viewed products or high converting products. So these are some features which are inbuilt in the Adyogi platform. Next, please. We have a very simplified reporting. A lot of brand owners actually tell us that, data crunching or taking out data from the platform and multiple platforms especially takes a lot of effort and manual work. Then there could be errors in that, and then analyzing that data. It's a tough part and takes a lot of time. We have simplified all of that for you. So basically you can just go to the Adyogi dashboard. You can also configure to receive that report on your WhatsApp or on your inbox, and it will be one consolidated report for you where you can see all your matrices. You can see what's working for you, what is your revenue, what is your conversion rate, what is your ROI. Everything would be available and visible to you on the Adyogi dashboard, and much more. You will also be able to see your catalog analysis, what is selling well for you, which ad has worked, which creative has worked. So it's a fairly detailed information which is available for you to analyze for your brand on the Adyogi dashboard. Coming to our team, which is really our champions. So we really have, worked very hard at Adyogi in terms of hiring the right people and also training them. We only hire from the premier colleges in India, and then we put them through an extensive training once they join Adyogi. We have a highly seasoned team. There is a whole hierarchy in place. There's a leadership team in place. Also, we make sure that all the people who join us, besides Adyogi training, also go through Meta and Google certification as well. To share with you that the team is available for you for chat across 24/7, and also they are available to help you over the weekend. So we always have a support team which is working for you all through the time. Coming to a question which must be in the mind of all of you, that, okay, this looks great, the product looks great, but how much do we pay for it? So just to share with you that the payment options are very simple at Adyogi. It's a pay as you go situation. There are no minimum ad spend. So basically we have two models. I'm talking about the Adyogi Silver first, and I will come to Adyogi Gold as well. In Adyogi Silver model, there is no minimum commitment that we are looking from you in terms of ad spends. There is a flat pricing. It's not linked to your spends. We will do the free setup for you and onboarding for you. There are no cancellation charges, and there's a transparent pricing. We have an idea that, these kind of services would cost you about £1,100 in UK, but our service will only charge you £300, and in turn of that, they have full access to Adyogi platform. You have a chat support available from us, and all the configurations are taken care by us. And of course, you get the reporting as I was just showing you. I'll just quickly show you the Adyogi Gold program as well. So in Adyogi platform, Adyogi Gold solution, you get all that you get in Silver. Plus, you will get a dedicated account manager, one of our seasoned experts to handle your account. What happens is that now this account manager will come on a weekly strategy call with you, work with you on terms of scaling your account. All the account management changes, campaign optimization will be taken care by this person. Also, each account manager has a leadership guiding him, working on your account. There is a set hierarchy structure that we have. Your quarterly and annual projections will be discussed, and end-to-end performance marketing management would be done. So that comes at £750 a month. That is the Gold membership. Coming to another case study, I think it would be interesting for all of you to, see how we have been scaling more brands. I want to share the success story of a brand based in India called Rare Rabbit. It's a men's fashion brand. This is some of the matrices that we improved for them. The revenue from D2C website itself was improved by 100%. We increased their AOV by 25%. We brought their CPM down. The meta efficiency itself improved from 3.4 to 5.x in just a span of 1 year. We improved their CTR. We improved their bounce session. And I will just show you on the next slide that what kind of numbers it resulted in. So as you can see on the screen that Rare Rabbit started with us in Feb 2020, and as of today, in 3 years, we have scaled them to a revenue of £12 million just from their website. So that is the kind of journey we were able to take them through, maintaining the ROAS, improving all the matrices. So that is an example of the kind of work we are able to deliver for our brands. We are now nearing conclusion, the end of my presentation. And of course, the obvious question at this stage would be that how do we get started? It's fairly easy. At the end of the session, we would be sharing our contact details and contact numbers. Howard is with us on this call. He is based in UK. He's available for you to connect and set up a call about us anytime. The process is fairly simple. You reach out to us, you sign up with us. We will run an audit for you and give you projections based on your expectations and your current numbers. There is a setup and onboarding that happens in terms of fixing and setting up your account, as I was showing you at the create stage. We close the pricing contract, we do the budget alignment, and we go live. On the outer side, it takes 2 to 3 weeks, but if we have all the credentials in place and if we have a fast response time from your end, we're able to go live in 7 to 10 days. We are open to questions now. Both me and Howard would be happy to take any questions which are coming in your mind about, performance marketing or your brand specifically, or how do you get started? Over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for a very engaging presentation, Lucky. I'm sure our audience here would have a few questions regarding the scene. So without wasting any time, we would like to kickstart the second part of today's session, a fireside chat on how to reduce your customer acquisition cost. So we actually received these questions at the time of the registration, which we would be taking up in the fireside chat now. Also, a quick shout out again. So do not miss out the exciting freebies that we've planned for all of the attendees of this webinar. We'll be rolling them out at the end of this Q&A sessions. So we'll start with the fireside chat questions that we've got so far. So I think the first question, Lucky, this is for you. So what is a typical budget distribution across channels like Meta, Google, or TikTok for efficient performance? So what would be your take on budget distribution across channels?
Okay, so this is a question which really comes up, but there is no perfect answer to this. But basically, we have seen that for certain industries, based on our expertise of working across categories, for certain industries, Meta is a good platform to go after, and a lot of traffic comes from there. But for FMCG or electronics, we see a better fit coming from a better response coming from the Google ads. What we recommend to start with is that also we have observed that it's easier or more cost effective to bring audience through Google and then remarket them, or bring through TikTok and then remarket them through Meta ads. So we mostly start with a 60-40 split of budget. But like I said, as we basis on industry and product and categories, we evolve this budget as we go along. Also, the Adyogi platform has a very good built-in feature, which helps you, see very clearly that what is the ROI you are getting across platforms on your campaigns. And, we look at, dividing of the budget accordingly.
Got it. Thank you for your insight, Lucky. So second question I have for Howard. So Howard, we want to understand how do we manage the shipping and logistics requirements in the UK markets?
Okay. First of all, Lucky, thank you very much for that very insightful presentation. Just a little bit more on my relationship with Adyogi. It's been long established. I've worked with them on a number of brands, both in India and the UK. And my role in this is to support the brands on the UK side, and to be the link between the UK brand and Adyogi, because of time differences and other sort of communicative points. It's easier sometimes to speak to myself. I'm available, unfortunately, 24/7. So firstly, as I say, please feel free to pick up the phone or email me after this presentation to discuss everything. In terms of the question in hand, obviously my background is logistics and processing, and I fully understand the challenges that there are with brands. Brands' main focus is to develop their brand. We offer a 360-degree service that allows the brand to make that focus and to allow us to deliver all the other services that you need to give you the peace of mind that your product's protected, that you can deliver, you can use us to deliver that product, or you can deliver it yourself. And we're always there as a supporting hand to assist you, because obviously those are some of the problems that there are, as we pointed out, because of Brexit, are still very challenging. And even in the UK now, you know, with all the costs and issues over energy and fuel, you know, we can provide a very good service for you on this side.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Howard. So the next question is also for you. So this is from a perspective of, let's say, getting started with Adyogi. So they want to understand what kind of paperwork would be required to onboard with Adyogi.
Well, I think it's very simple. You know, I think we start off by having a meet, either a Zoom call or a face-to-face. Happy to do face-to-face, because a lot of people prefer that, but certainly a Zoom call if it's not practical. Then there would just be a basic understanding of the position that the brand's in now, what services they want, identify the silver or gold service, talk about the sort of requirements that are going to be needed for us to do our job, to be able to give you a cohesive timeline to onboard. So it's very straightforward, it's very simple, just some very basic documentation that's needed to be able to get the thing moving.
Thanks a lot for throwing some light onto the whole onboarding process with Adyogi, Howard. Lucky, the next question is for you from a marketing domain. So apart from, let's say, ROAS, return on your ad spend, what do you think are some, let's say, key metrics that a brand should be tracking apart from, let's say, ROAS to improve your profitability? So what are some of the other key performance indicators or key metrics that they should focus on?
That's a good question, Kirivash. Actually, a lot of brands make this, focus only on ROI, only on ROAS. They keep thinking about, I spent X amount of money and I did X amount of sales, and they keep their entire focus on that. But we highly recommend that there are several other matrices that help you to scale your business. You have to do a bestseller analysis, for example. You cannot have the same focus on all your products. Mostly your sales, 70-80% of your sales would come from your bestsellers only. So it's very important to keep a grip on those, the inventory and analysis on those. You have to look at your repeat customer rate. If your customers are not coming back and shopping at you, you need to see that what is there that you can do in terms of improving the product experience or your product itself. Then how smoothly is your website working? What is the UI UX experience that the customer is working? How fast, once somebody clicks on your ad, are they landing? Is your website loading fast enough? Are they landing on your? Are they able to land on your website? And once they are on your website, are they able to get a smooth checkout? A lot of times brands create a very complicated checkout process, and we see a lot of drop off at the checkout stage. So these are some of the matrices that brand could see, and look at the whole consumer journey, right from bringing them to their website, they're shopping on your website, and then coming back for more purchase. I think that really would help you to ultimately build up on the return on ad spends.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Lucky. So I believe our attendees would have probably noted down what are the key metrics that Lucky just listed down apart from ROAS. Thanks a lot for that. So Howard, I think the next question is for you. So the attendees will understand what happens if I want to discontinue after a month. Would there be any cancellation charges? So what would be the process to discontinue?
Again, one of the ways of trying to make this an easy process is to have an easy exit process. I think that regardless of anything, if for some reason you are unable to carry forward, or the circumstances are such that there's been a company strategy change, then we would require 3 months notice to leave. Again, it takes us a while to sort of sort of decelerate everything. So we feel that period of time is acceptable, and obviously from our perspective, during that time we can work closely with the brand to be able to sort of remove them from the process.
Good. Thanks a lot, Howard. So we just have one final question before we wrap up the fireside chat, and this is probably for both Lucky or Howard. So the question is, how do I decide amongst a UK-based agency versus Adyogi? Let's say, what are the benefits of choosing Adyogi?
Okay, well, from my point of view, I think that Adyogi are a very long established business with a strong technical support within the organization. You can see by the merits that they have with all the major platforms. I think it's important that you understand that, you know, the costs in the UK, the costs in Europe are very high, and the service that's provided by some of these companies is of a much lower level than what Adyogi offer. Everybody has concerns about working with people who are not in the UK. Well, that's not the case. You have a connection in the UK, you have a base in the UK, you have people who are experienced in operating in Adyogi in the UK. So all these things are part and parcel of the comfort level that brands who I've talked to have got when they've asked me that very same question. So I'm very comfortable to recommend Adyogi, and I'm sure that once you get to know the people in much more detail, and your account manager, if you go for the dedicated gold package, which I recommend, would be the start of a very positive, transparent and safe relationship.
Thank you so much for that, Howard. So with that, we've wrapped up our fireside chat. Thank you so much, our panelists, for driving the conversation with flair and knowledge. I hope our attendees had a valuable insight or two to take away from this conversation. We're opening for questions now. Just feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. So let's just wait for a bit. Let's wait for the questions. Any questions that you want to ask our panelists today, just please keep them coming in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. So in case you don't have any questions and you want to connect with us later, of course, okay, so we do have one question. So they want to understand if they want to understand a few tips to combat low ROAS and low conversion rate. I think, Lucky, this is something you can take it up. How do they combat low return on ad spends and low conversion rates? Any, let's say, general tips to overcome this?
Right. So I was just discussing earlier as well that brands entirely focus on ROAS, and there are a lot of matrices which they need to look at besides ROAS to build it. So some of them could be I've already shared few of them, but I think like I said, that a product would really help you to decide that what campaigns should the budget be going on, what are your best sellers, whether you should be spending more budget on Facebook or Google. You should be tracking that. You have to track what creatives, what campaigns are giving you results. How is the flow journey from clicking on the website to eventually the customer coming onto your website. Also dividing the budgets between your top funnel, medium funnel and bottom funnel, and planning your remarketing budgets accordingly. I think these are few things which could help you to improve your ROAS.
Good. Thanks a lot for that insight, Lucky. Any other questions? You can feel free to pick it up. I'll just give it a few seconds. If not, feel free to drop a mail to Lucky or Howard as well. I've also dropped a meeting link in case you want to discuss further. If you want to learn more about Adyogi, I've dropped a meeting link. Feel free to book a meeting with me, schedule with me. I'm happy to, let's say, explore potential synergies. I think we don't have any further questions. So just one other question. We got one more question as well. So this is more on the acquisition cost from a marketing perspective. As you know, acquisition costs are at an all-time high, and let's say brands are looking for newer and more innovative solutions. So we want to understand, let's say, what are the key factors that affect, let's say, your acquisition costs on marketing channels? Lucky, I think you can take it up.
Yeah, sure. So coming to the, improving your cost of acquisition, like I said, that firstly, you have to really know your audience. What are the audience sets that you are targeting to? Also, you have to, build efficiency on an ongoing basis. A lot of brands, sort of try to monitor their account on a day-to-day basis, and then they get disappointed that they're not getting results. Performance marketing, I would say, is something which is a patient journey. So you have to keep trying. So you try your audiences, then you are looking very deeply into, your product analysis in terms of what is working for you. Then, like I said, go to a deeper level in terms of your campaign analysis, your distribution between the various channels. We have, like I was mentioning earlier also, that we have seen that for top funnel, Google is better, and for remarketing, Meta works better. So dividing your budgets accordingly so that you are not acquiring customer at a really high rate really help you to optimize your campaigns better.
Thank you so much for that insight, Lucky. So we are wrapping up our Q&A session, and of course, as I mentioned before, feel free to just book a meeting with me or drop an email to Howard Lucky. We'll be more than happy to, let's say, have a one-on-one conversation with you. And so as promised, let's say the perks of attending our webinar don't end here. So we're also offering a quick access to a freemium tool to all of our attendees, which I'll put it up in the chat section here. Feel free to sign up to experience the Adyogi platform absolutely for free. So basically, let's say upon signing up, you get, let's say, easy analysis on your Facebook ads performance, on your different funnels, let's say through a ROAS analyzer. So not just that, we've also, let's say, enabled, let's say, automatic daily performance reports, which will be delivered right to your WhatsApp as well, and so much more other features. And thank you all for attending and participating. I think it was a very insightful session, and I hope all of you had one or two key insights to take away from this conversation. If you wish to reach out to us, as I mentioned before, please feel free to, let's say, book a meeting with us with the link provided in the chat section. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.